Elon Musk can say whatever he wants about free speech, which to him seems to be there being no consequences whatsoever for absolutely horrid, racial harassment, targeted harassment campaigns, those sorts of things. He's been letting all sorts of people who've broken the prior terms of service of Twitter back on. But at the same time, I want to be clear. The worries about Elon Musk is not that anything will go. I know it's easy to think that's what the worst case scenario is. The worst case scenario, though, is not just that nobody's suspended anymore. The worst case scenario is that right wingers are allowed to do and say whatever they want, and Twitter is used to silence the other side. And there's already reason to believe that that's happening.
Yep.
A group has, the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club has already been suspended. That is a group that stands guard at LGBTQ events. You can see a post here from Steven Zetti posting about this being suspended. We're not gonna run through all of the accounts that have been suspended, but there have already been a number of independent journalists, leftist organizations, anti-fascist organizations, they're being banned at the same time that this general amnesty or whatever is going on for people who have previously been banned for racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, transphobia, and all of those things. So again, it is true to point out that he doesn't actually care about free speech in the way that he does. But to be clear, it is not just that he's going to take off all the limits. No, he is spending his days as a reply guy to right-wing grifters and delivering for them that which they want, which is not free speech. It is advantage over the other side. They want shadow banning of the other side. They want literal banning of the other side, and Elon Musk is already delivering that to them.
I think that's a really important point, right? Like if this is a space now where white nationalists can roam free, and then that's literally all Twitter is becoming, which is just a space to fight Nazis. And if you're down for that, cool. And I would argue that the majority of people who are down for that are people who aren't always in the crosshairs of Nazi and white nationalist ire, i.e., I think white people feel a little safer to stay. Men definitely should feel safer to stay. Whereas definitely women of color that I know have been like, peace, see you later. Black women in particular who already, without Elon taking the helm of this thing, have been in the crosshairs of the majority of online harassment, right? Yeah. But now, it's like, okay, well, so if this is gonna be a space where we basically fight fascists or fascists get to say whatever they want, but then you're banning Antifa, well, that's not a fair fight, as John points out. Like suddenly it's very different. And look, I'm mourning the death of Twitter because I think there's something fun and uniting about having a common conversation with strangers that is not mediated necessarily by television, right? It's not mediated by CNN or MSNBC or Fox News for that matter. It is mediated where, yes, a viral tweet about someone teaching their kid how, or not teaching their kid how to open a jar of beans or can of beans is like, that can be a conversation. I mourn the death of that, right? But we gotta go other places. And I think there are things that already exist that we can go, but it's going to change. And maybe something new will rise from its ashes.
Maybe, yeah. Look, I'm gonna miss live tweeting Game of Thrones and stuff like that. That is unfortunate, but in the meantime, we'll see what happens with Twitter. But you're watching this right now, either on YouTube or on Twitch or on one of the other things. You're following us there, that's good. We're both on, it has its own problems, but we're both on Instagram. You can follow us there. We have our communities on Patreon as well. So
does TDR have a Discord?
The Young Turks has a Discord.
Okay, TYT is
my Patreon has a Discord as well. But yes, there are other places. We're not suddenly just going to disappear, even if we might eventually disappear from Twitter, which by the way, I took off of my phone a couple of weeks ago. And that has severely cut down how much I've been tweeting and how much ridiculous harassment I've been receiving. I tweeted something about billionaires, and it was just a ton of people who had blue checks, and looked into it, all of them had bought it. Just defending billionaires. How could you say there shouldn't be billionaires? It's like, okay, is this the community that you're building now on Twitter? That's fun. That's fun.
John, this is our nightmare come true. Like you and I are the first against the wall, man. We are the first ones to be guillotined in it right now because we've critiqued Elon a lot. It's like my favorite thing to do is It's my favorite thing to do is making fun of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And that's like, nope, you can't criticize the king, and you're gonna get banned. And all the reply guys have now been, elevated to, reply guy deluxe or whatever their elevation status, the knight, reply knights. And they're all coming after us. They're like, I'm about to be billionaire.
Yeah, it's just so sad. That is literally how he spends his time. Anyway,
at the same time that crypto is going under.
Exactly. And it's weird, the crossover of those people who like Elon Musk and are really into crypto. But don't worry, the new Twitter Blue thing has stopped scams and spam and bots and all of that. That has not been my experience, actually. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.